It saves around 13 seconds over the course of the run. So they're going to be starting now, and they're just going to be mashing through this first bit, the character creation scene, as it won't really matter much. Now, this game, Deltarune, is the unofficial sequel slash the official follow-up to Undertale. Apparently it's in an alternate universe or something. I'm not really caught up with the lore. So here they're going to be selecting their names. And the important thing when selecting your name is that you don't select the same name, because then you're going to have to watch a lot more text. So they're both going to not select the same names and go into the first sort of part of the game. So there's Toriel, and she's, you might know Toriel from Undertale. She's in Undertale. She's also in Deltarune, and they're going to skip that by going to sleep again. So this is why they play New Game Plus. It is because when you play New Game Plus, you can just go to sleep again, and how should I explain this? You can go to sleep and just skip the entire first 5 minutes of cutscenes. So now you're going to see them walking sort of strangely, because in this game, as opposed to Undertale, you actually have a sprint button, which increases your movement speed. So they're going to attempt to not move into walls, because if they move into walls, they sort of lose that speed for a little bit. So they're going to attempt to stay in the middle of the path as much as possible. And that's why they aren't moving diagonally as much as you might think they should be, because it's very hard to not bump into the walls. Also at the start there, you saw them pick up a shiny thing. That is the wrist protector. It will instantly mash every text box at 15 text boxes per second. However, this game runs at 30 text boxes per second. It runs at 30 frames per second. So therefore, they're still going to be mashing Z and Enter to try to get the fastest possible text box mashing, but it helps a lot. So here's the first bad guy of the game, I guess. His name's Lancer, and he's throwing spades at them right now. Now they're going to attempt to avoid the spades as much as possible. And if they hit the spades, then they won't lose any speed, but they'll take a little damage animation. When that damage animation happens, they sort of stop for a second in place, so lose a bit of time. In this downward slide, it doesn't matter if you get hit, you just take a little bit of damage. Now they're going into Castle Town. And here's sort of like here's the second story skip. There's this entire plot about darkeners and lighteners and stuff, and you're supposed to have it explained to you here through a cutscene. But since they're time travelers and they've already done that, they're just gonna skip right ahead. And that's Lancer. He's the guy who threw spades at them, and they're gonna be attempting to perfect Lancer, or quick kill Lancer, as we say in the community, by getting 3 crits. So as you can see on the attack bar, it sort of moves from the right to the left. And if you stop the bar in the middle of the sort of square, you get a crit. And that, if you get 3 crits, which neither of them got here, you can actually kill Lancer in 3 turns. Now you're gonna see what they're doing is they're sort of letting the purple guy, Susie, they're letting her get hit, because that's gonna be relevant in a skip that's coming up in like 5 minutes, and it will save a couple of seconds later on. That's Rouse. It's the goat boy of Undertale, goat boy of Deltarune, and he's now in our party. So we're gonna skip the tutorial battle and pick up the manual at the same time. The manual is basically the punch card, but it's not relevant at all. And they're gonna exit Castletown into the first sort of area of the game. And consider that like the tutorial area. Yeah, I do mean Susie. So as you saw there are sort of like these overworld encounters in this game. And what you can do is you can just run straight past them. So you're not going to watch a lot of fighting here. You're just going to watch them go right past the green guys. They're called Rudens, I believe. And then they're going to do that puzzle. And they're going to be moving into the next fight. Now in this next fight, they're going to start off by acting and getting all the Rudens spareable. And then they're going to be taking damage on that attack. Potato didn't do that, but if you do, it saves a little bit of time. And you're going to be trying to save, then you're going to spare one of them, and defend, and then spare the last two. Because in this game, if you rub close to the attacks, you get your TP bar fills up. And when your TP bar is at max, not when it's at max, but the more TP you gain, the faster the fights will go. So if you gain a lot of TP, your fights will actually go a lot faster. So here they're picking up Susie again. And just enjoy some fanfare here. Yeah, so here's C round. They're just going to be smacking that boy. They could be saving a little bit of attack frames by defending there, but then you'd get a text box here where you'd have to match that, and that takes some time. So they're just going to mash through this bit and get into the Jigsaw fight, and you can see him defending twice there. That is because they can skip the attack animations of the bar going to the right. And because Susie has this weird thing about her, she's always going to be attacking. Like, no matter what you do, she's always just attacking. Because she's violent, right? So they're going to defend the first turn, Potato is, and he's going to defend the first turn, and then attack the second turn to get it in 2 turns with only 1 attack animation. So here's coming up, that skip's actually a bit difficult. It's easy to miss. You sort of move left and right to keep your speed, and then when the Ruden turns, you just walk and then walk under him. So here's Palm and Skip, and Potato executing it beautifully, and BGP also getting it. Very nice. Now Palm and Skip it's a very harsh skip, but it's also very easy. You just move through the room without bumping. The problem is if you bump more than once on that skip, you miss the skip, and you get the Palm and encounter. Here they're gonna select their team names. Hope you like the Lancer Fan Club, because that's the name they're gonna pick. Now they're moving into this room. Now it may seem like they're supposed to be hit on like half of these. They're not. They're just gonna walk straight. And here's the second Palm and Skip. This one is a bit more forgiving than the first one. Both of them getting it very well. And now we're entering K round. Now K round is why we had Susie take damage earlier, because on K round can't die. That's his special thing. He won't die. And the Susie attack animation actually wastes a bit of time. So therefore, to get as fast as possible, we actually want Susie to get targeted here. Let's see if Potato gets it. Potato does not get it, and neither does BGP. So they actually want Susie to get targeted here, because if she dies, it's actually a bit faster. Now Potato's actually gonna get her to die the second turn, which is should save about 4 seconds. And that skips the almond milk attack that you can see from BGP. Did Potato not get the wrist protector? I must have missed that. Oh right, he didn't. Yeah, that sucks. It's still a very even race, even though he isn't using the wrist protector. I must have missed that completely. Yeah, if you don't get the wrist protector, you're actually gonna have to mash like twice as fast to get optimal, which is it's fairly annoying. So now they're entering Forest Maze. Susie sort of left the party, and they're gonna do that first rapid skip there. Now what you do is you sort of just walk up to the bush, and then just walk the opposite direction for a little bit, and then the rabbit just comes flying out. Yeah, the reason it doesn't spawn the wrist protector is because if you have the game launched for more than 8 minutes before getting there, it won't spawn since it's a speedrunning exclusive item. That is why if you haven't played the game, like if you haven't speedrun the game, you might not even know it exists. Now here they're just gonna be walking through this place and BGP getting the clip very nicely, and they're just gonna do a quick puzzle and keep on walking. They're gonna skip this encounter by just walking down. It's very easy. And do another quick puzzle. And now, here's Clover. Clover, for some reason, really likes the manual. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use the manual twice and then spare Clover. And that for some reason works. That's the reason why we picked up the manual. Well, we can't really... We have to pick up the manual, right? But that's the only place where we actually use it. Here's Bloxer Skip. It's fairly easy to miss. Potato getting it, BGP not getting it. It's a very hard skip. It's probably one of the harder skips in the game. BGP, sorry, opting to go for the attack strat on them instead of acting and sparing. And Potato is going to be building the butt thrashing machine now. The machine to thrash your butt. And no duck today. It's just first option. It's the easiest one. You're gonna see BGP here taking some damage while walking through here, opting not to take damage on the second one, and Potato's just gonna be walking through this bird corridor. This corridor looks a lot harder than it is. You just keep moving right and you can't get hit. And there's a tree there. Yeah, we're supposed to do a puzzle, but it never changes position, so you just walk up to it. Now we're entering the maze itself. And Lancer has no idea where he's going. So you're gonna see Potato going the opposite direction. So wherever Lancer does not go, Potato goes. And here's the second Bloxer Skip coming up. If you miss the Bloxer Skip, this one actually moves super slowly. But since Potato got the Bloxer Skip, he needs to set this up by walking into the wall. If you walk into the wall and then just walk straight up, you're always gonna get it. Now Potato's entering the Susie Lancer fight. He's gonna be mashing some more text. And then the strat for this... The strat for this is actually to... You're supposed to act twice on Lancer, and then you're acting once to put Susie to sleep. And then you act twice on Lancer again. Because this entire fight is basically spent just convincing Lancer not to want to fight us. And Susie will actually just plug his ears if we're actually going to be able to convince him. So therefore we need to put him to sleep first. Put Susie to sleep, not Lancer. Potato finishing the fight there. And now both Lancer and Susie are part of the team. Spoilers. Your party's 4 players now. BGP finishing up the fight. And this next part is very cutscene heavy. It's sort of the story element of the game. It just... It's a great portion of the game where if you're playing through the game, like in English, because I mean it's character development and stuff. You can get to see Susie developing his character, but since we're speedrunning this game, it's just a bit boring. Like, it's a minute or two of mashing, and that's not very fun. So yeah, now Lancer doesn't like that we're gonna kill his dad. Spoilers, we're gonna kill his dad. And he sort of runs away, and both Rousey and Susie follow him. So we're getting attacked because we're alone, and in this section we're just going to be dodging those bullets and try to not bump into the walls, because if you do, you're going to lose time. That's different from the first segment, is that you're actually able to bump in the walls this time. And then when walking upwards, it's just a matter of staying on the right side of the screen. Right, so now Potato's entering the cell, and for some reason in this cell you need to talk to something 3 times. So the easiest thing to do is to talk to the wall, that crack in the wall, twice, and then interact with the shackles and pick them up. The shackles are going to be used for the king fight later, since they make it possible to do more damage for some reason. Then we're going to talk to Rousey, do a quick puzzle with Susie, and then we're going into another fight. So the option you select here doesn't matter. It doesn't save any time, even if you select right or left. And the puzzle never changes. It's always left, right, up, left. So there's no need to actually know what those buttons mean. Potato entering the next fight here, the Susie versus Lancer fight. And in this fight, it's very important. You see that TP bar? It's very important to get 100% true pacifist, because if you do, you save a little bit of time. So you have to get true pacifist in this one. That's what TP stands for, just so everyone knows. Gonna see him trying to grace the bolts as much as possible. That is to get the true pacifist up to as high as possible. And now the Lancer bullets sort of get this tutorial effect, where he doesn't want to hurt you, right? So they're just gonna be avoiding you. Yeah, Potato's a bit ahead, but it should be fine. Like, there's still a lot of time to lose, especially in Card Castle, which is coming up, and it's probably the hardest segment in this game. So you're going to see Potato manage to get 100% true pacifist, so he will be saving some time. And it looks like BGP is not getting true pacifist. It doesn't matter much. It saves 2 seconds. Yeah, around 2 seconds. So it's not the most major time save, but it's nice. Now Susie is freeing the party, and we're gonna be... You might think, right, we've watched 3 minutes of cutscenes now. It has to be, like, the game has to be starting now. No, there's another elevator. We're gonna be sitting in that elevator for the next half a minute. Toby Fox really likes his elevators. BGP opting to save before the elevator. And Potato is going to be holding down so that he can start exiting the elevator as fast as possible, because that triggers Susie's dialogue. And now Susie sort of joins the party for real. Now you can actually control her, and she won't just attack every turn. So Potato's going for Rudin Ranger skip. You're supposed to go up to that candle, back to the middle of the elevator, and then just run back and go up, and that should get the Ruden stuck on the wall. He's gonna walk straight through that. Oh, my stream's lagging. Well, he should be entering Rules Card Puzzle. He's a mad lad who makes mac and cheese. And that should... And then they should be on to Hedathi Skip. My stream's lagging a bit, so I can't actually see it. Potato missing Hedathi Skip. He's going to be attempting to... He's going to be attempting to two-turn this Hathi. BGP also missing the Hedathi Skip. It's actually possible to two-turn the Hedathis if you... He's making mac and cheese. Yeah. It's possible to two-turn the Hedathis if you get 2 crits, but neither of the players are getting that. Here's the hardest puzzle in the game. That last one was the second hardest one. I have no idea how to solve them personally. Like, watching speedrunners do it is just magic. Potato going to heal up, then enter the shop. He's going to be buying the Brave Axe and then equipping it to Susie. This should save a little bit of time. I'm sorry, this is because of the King strat that he's opting to use. BGP not opting not to buy the axe, which probably means that he's going to be going for another King strat. Now we're going to be doing a much more efficient way of doing K-round. You see that green boy? That pathetic goat boy? We're going to be yeeting him at the crown, which surprisingly works. And it's a lot better than just bowing to him repeatedly if you hit the crown. And that should finish the fight in three turns. Yeah. Now both players are entering the King battle. This is Lancer's dad. Yeah, it's actually really close. This King battle will actually decide whether or not Potato or BGP wins. Yeah, BGP didn't get the axe, so he might actually be going for a slower strat. So this should be interesting. Potato is opting to... He's probably going for the Red Buster strat. And it looks like BGP is going for the Red Buster strat without axe. Maybe I missed him getting the axe. Potato is going for the Root Buster strat, which is an old strat that we're not using anymore because it's a bit slower and a lot harder. But it's still a fine strat. They're going to be throwing these magic attacks with Susie, and yeah, a lot of mashing here might actually lose the race. That is correct, Nar. But you're going to be seeing the players mashing Z and Enter during the magic attacks. That is to increase the damage that is done. Now this is actually very close. It looks like BGP is ahead by a bit, but a slower King might actually lose the fight here. Potato getting some beautiful crits there. Yeah, BGP didn't get the axe, I don't think. So the fastest strat would be to get the axe and the shackles and then equip both to Susie. But it appears that neither player is doing that strat. It's a bit hard to get it good. This should be the last turn, hopefully, for both players. And it looks like... it looks like Potato will be getting the 10 turn. And he is now ahead of BGP. BGP is going to get the 11 turn red strat, which is slightly slower than the 10 turn. But since Potato didn't pick up the... No! Sorry, I'm completely wrong. It looks like he's going to be getting the 12 turn even. Oh, that is a lot slower actually, since the 12 turn attack is very slow. So King finally dies for BGP, and now there's just a lot of mashing left, which might actually decide this race, since BGP is currently mashing at a base mashing level of 15 text boxes per second faster. Looks like BGP is, 25 seconds or something behind. Which means that the race is... There's not a lot of time to lose here. You can crash. On this last segment, there is a lot of crashes that happen here. I've never experienced it, but hopefully it doesn't happen to either of the runners. I haven't seen a soft lock here yet, though. Like, soft locking isn't very common in Deltarune, as it is in Undertale. Plot twist. Wellesley is a goat. A white goat. And now we're entering the last sort of segment of the run, which is the running back home and going to sleep as fast as possible segment. Right, they're gonna be waking up in a classroom. This might be a bit strange, since we never entered the school in the first place. So you might wonder how we actually got to school. But we're in school now. And it's a bit late, so we need to go back home to sleep. This is sort of the section of the game where we're supposed to be talking to friends and stuff. Like, interacting with characters from the last game. Undyne's here, Toriel's here, Alphys is here, basically every single character is here. But that's super slow. So we're just going to be walking straight back to the end. And hopefully that will be it. See here, Potato is going to be entering his house. And let's see here, he's going to be skipping right past Toriel and just going to sleep. And that's time at 28 minutes and 23 seconds from Potato. Let's see if we can get him in here for an interview. And BGP is going to be finishing at I think that was a 28 minute and 46 second time. But it does look like Potato won this match. So let's see if we can get them into commentary. Time to rip the heart out. Let's see here. I wonder if... Are any of them going to join? It'd be nice. Let's see. Let's see here if we can actually get one of them into the Discord. Right. Hi, Potato. Yo, how do you think the match went? What is your opinion?
That was very
I
interesting.
failed on a skip blocks for skip, so I lost 20 seconds. So I'm really sad about that.
I forgot to reset for the wrist protector.
Yeah, how did that feel? How did it feel?
That was painful. Very painful.
I could see that.
Yeah. I tried to match as good as I could, but
I mean, you ended up mashing good enough since you placed first, right?
barely, but yeah.
And BGP, how did the run go?
I failed blocks for skip, but apart from that, it was actually quite good.
I've got a question. Your king strat, you skipped buying the axe. Was that intentional, or did you just forget it?
Wait, I didn't know I have to buy an axe. I thought that only does something about Rude Buster. I thought it doesn't change the Red Buster.
Yeah, you need both the axe and the shackles to actually do the red buster strat optimally.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Which is a bit... Yeah, and Potato, going for the root strat, well, why did you decide to do that?
I haven't practiced Red Buster. I'm like really bad. Well, I practiced it like once, but I couldn't get it quite down in time for the race, so I just used Red Buster.
Right. Yeah, any more comments before the stream's gonna be done?
No, that I can think of now.
No comments? Then I will be ending this race. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting us. Shoutouts to the runners. Go follow them on Twitch. Shoutouts to the Undertale speedrunning community, where we're currently hosting our Deltarune speedrunning community. You should go join if you want to speedrun Deltarune.
Both great communities.
Yeah, both
Totally.
awesome communities. GG to both the runners, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.